Hi, my name is Ana Rosales, and I attended the Kern High School District Board of Trustees meeting on March 4th, 2019. There are five members, including Mr. Brian Beatty, which is the president. The Kern High School District is located here in Bakersfield. The address is 5801 Sandell Avenue, and it serves about 38,000 students, grades 9 through 12. They meet the first Monday of the month, except for the month of July, and except if there's any holidays. Then they change it to the second Monday of the month. It was my first time attending a meeting, so I didn't know what to expect, but it was very interesting. They started with presenting the schedule for the 2019 graduations. Then they recognized three girls from the FFA, Future Farmers of America, for the San Joaquin region. One girl was from Foothill, the other one from North, and the other one from Independence. The principals from Foothill and Independence were there, and the assistant principal of instruction from North was also there, recognizing these three girls. The girl from Foothill, it's a vice president. The girl from North, it's the reporter, and the girl from Independence is the South Valley section vice president. Then they introduced Bakersfield's high school art teacher, Mrs. Smart. She talked about a display of art on the Bakersfield Association's Art Center Gallery, located on 19th Street downtown. I don't know this, but she stated that the California Art Association of Educators considers the March the month of youth art, and they had about 69 art pieces in display. 9 high schools participated, and for the first year they also included 2 middle schools. That was very interesting. Then they went on to the hearing of citizens. Each citizen has 3 minutes, 3 minutes to talk. And the first person to speak was a parent, Gina Guzman. She was concerned because in January she attended a forum, the Kern High School District Forum at West High, and she stated that she was sitting in front of Janice Graves, which is a board member, and Mrs. Guzman stated that she heard a lot of negative remarks, and when she turned around, she saw that it was Janice Graves, and she was really upset because she was making negative remarks when they were talking about the idea of building a high school in Lamont area, and Mrs. Guzman said that she will continue to advocate for that high school, or she wants them to build that high school even though her son is graduating. She will still advocate for it. Then the second person was Jose Gonzalez, also an advocate for the high school in Lamont, and he said that they really need this high school because they have to be bused. The kids have to be bused to Arvin High School, and the high school is overcrowded, and so he said that overcrowding and the lack of investment, the lack of support, is affecting the students' behavior. He said that they have a gang problem, and it's mainly because the classrooms are overcrowded, and There's no support in the community. These kids have to wake up extra early to ride the bus to Arvin, and if they miss the bus, they have to walk an average of 6 to 8, even 10 miles, depending on what area they live in, Lamont or Whitpatch. Um, so he says with support and with investment, uh, they can have a more successful community and less gang problems. Um, he says that with more support, there will be more teachers that can spend time with the kids, can be mentors to the kids, and I think it was probably the most interesting part of the meeting because I actually work in Arvin. I was there for a few months doing a long term, and and I saw firsthand that classrooms are indeed overcrowded. In one of my classes, I had 47 students, and we didn't even have enough desks for everybody. So I requested a table and chairs, and yeah, it was really overcrowded. The average it was like 42 students in every class, and they have the block period. So I'm with the same group of kids for 2 hours, and it was hard, but I know there's a lot of fights. The first thing I noticed is that the kids from Lamont, and Arvin. I'm not saying everybody, but there's a lot of kids that don't get along. So you'll see one area, all the Lamont kids are hanging out during lunch, eating their lunch on that side, and then you'll see the kids from Arvin on a different area. And one of the first things I also noticed was that the lunch was only 35 minutes. And I remember asking a teacher why it was only 35 minutes. I'm used to 40 minutes of lunch. And he, he said that basically the less time the kids have, the less fights. That was his rationale behind the 35 minutes of lunch. And I thought it was funny because what they said is the less time they have, they're focusing on eating their lunch, waiting in line and getting their lunch, and they don't have that extra time to get into a fight or something like that. But I know there needs to be more support. I would have loved to hear maybe some data from either side, or I would have loved to hear what the board members had to say, but they just listened to what Mr. Gonzalez had to say, and I wish there would have been more information on that. Then after that we had Ricardo Del Hoyo. He was there on behalf of State Senator Melissa Hurtado, which represents the 14th Senate District, which covers Fresno area and Bakersfield. And he basically was there to say that they support what the current high school district is doing, including the project of the new there's a project for 2 new high schools, and he was really happy with that. Then there was also a student from Liberty High School. She's a junior, and she basically talked about underdeveloped programs. Like she stated that there's no engineering program, no FFA or farmers program. There's no business program, no visual or performing arts program. And she also talked about the lack of encouragement from the school to send students to college out of state. They don't really have a lot of information, or they don't really encourage the kids to go out of state to go to college. She encouraged the board members to provide funding for the programs, and also more information for students that want to leave the state. Then they talk about charter high school. Mrs. Donna Schwartz was there to petition for entrepreneur charter high school, and the petition is actually available for public review in the Office of Educational Services at the Kern High School District. And this entrepreneur charter high school is scheduled to open the fall of 2020 with approximately 200 students the first year, 100 ninth graders and 100 10th graders, and then they're looking to add 100 students the following 2 years to make it 400 students at the end of the third year. The location is scheduled to be the Old Community School in Select Avenue, and the schedule will be all students have to be there from 8 a.m. to 4:30, but the core schedule is from 8 to 3. But after 3 o'clock, from 3 to 4:30, their students are expected to be participating in either athletics, visual arts, performing arts, tutoring, something like that. And the school will most likely, the students will most likely come from private schools, from students that are homeschooled, and from the Kern High School District also. And she's also stated that the focus of the school will be on business, and she used the word they're looking for independent thinkers, or students that want to have a business or something like that. The initial budget will only allow for eight teachers, so the ratio of students will be 33 to 1, and then they're looking to make it 25 to 1 after the first year. All classes will be college prep, and they will have tutors or aides that will help students with special needs, and they will also have a program for the English language learner students. And the curriculum will include one business class. The first quarter of the class will be based on just basics. The students will learn just the basics of business terms, everything that they need to know. And after that, each class will have to develop a non-profit business, such as a vending machine business or a restaurant or something that they can do as a class, and all the money made will come back to the school, will come back to the program. And after that, then the next step will be that each and every student will have to create their own business, and they will create a personal bank account under the parent supervision, and they will have to provide bank or account statements to the school for a grade, and because they still have to be graded on if they're learning about cash flow, and they're learning about being organized, and knowing about the business and how to run a business. And that was pretty much about the meeting. Thank you very much. Bye.